Why sympathy alone falls short, and what truly makes a difference. Our friend Jerry once raised a valid concern. If I stop focusing on people who are struggling, sure, I might feel better, but doesn't that mean I'm ignoring their pain? It feels like I'm turning away instead of helping. His worry was understandable. After all, isn't empathy the foundation of compassion? But here's the deeper truth. Sympathy alone doesn't heal. It often just shares the suffering. If you fixate on someone's struggle and absorb their distress, two things happen. You feel worse. They still feel bad, and nothing changes. In fact, by matching their low vibration, you unintentionally reinforce the very energy you hope to alleviate. Now, instead of one person stuck in pain, there are two. The alternative, holding space without absorbing the pain. The key isn't to ignore their struggle, it's to shift your focus from their problem to their potential. When you consciously choose to see their strength, their resilience, or even just the possibility of relief, you maintain your own emotional balance. And from that grounded, empowered place, you become far more helpful than if you'd simply mirrored their despair. Think of it this way. Sympathy says, I feel your pain. True compassion says, I see your strength, even when you can't. Why negative emotions don't help, even when they feel noble. When you're upset about someone else's suffering, you're still focusing on what's wrong, not what's possible. And when your attention is locked on lack, you're not in a position to inspire, uplift, or offer real solutions. Imagine this: someone walks into your space radiating frustration or grief. If you haven't been nurturing your own emotional well-being, you'll likely get pulled into their energy. Suddenly, you're both drowning in the same heavy emotions, and that negativity can ripple outward, affecting others. But what if, instead, you'd been deliberately cultivating your own inner peace? The power of emotional anchoring. Picture this routine. You go to bed with the intention, tonight, I reset. Tomorrow, I choose joy. You wake up aligned with well-being, ready to meet the day from a place of calm. Now, when someone in distress enters your space, you don't collapse into their emotions, you become a steady presence, a beacon of stability. This doesn't mean your positivity will instantly fix their pain. Sometimes, the gap between their despair and your peace may feel too wide. But here's the magic. If you hold your vibration steady, they will either rise to meet you, or, if they're not ready, they'll naturally drift out of your experience. The law of attraction ensures this. Like energy attracts like. A better metaphor for compassion: imagine you're hiking on a narrow mountain trail when suddenly, you slip and dangle over a cliff, clinging to a weak vine. Would you want your friend to panic, lose their footing, and fall with you? Or stay calm, anchor themselves, and pull you up? Sympathy that drags you both down isn't helpful. Stability is what saves. True compassion versus empty sympathy. Traditional sympathy tunes into pain until you match it. Real compassion tunes into the unshakable well-being that still exists beneath their struggle. Every person contains multitudes: fear and courage, doubt and resilience, pain and the capacity for joy. Your role isn't to drown with them, it's to remind them they can swim. How to actually help, without burning out. Witness without absorbing. Acknowledge their pain, but don't adopt it as your own. Hold the vision of their strength. See them as whole, even if they feel broken. Stay in alignment. Your steady energy creates a safe space for healing. Trust the process. If they're ready, they'll rise. If not, you haven't sacrificed your peace. The takeaway: sympathy says, I'll suffer with you. Compassion says, I'll believe in you until you believe in yourself. Your light doesn't dim theirs, it helps them find their own. So choose empowerment over pity. Choose possibility over despair. And watch how the energy shifts, for both of you. How to let go without taking on their pain. A man once asked us, how do you end a relationship without being hurt by the fact that the other person is hurt? If I feel ready to move on, but the other person is devastated, how do I keep my emotional balance? Our response was this: when you try to shape your behavior based on someone else's emotional reaction, you give away your power. Because you can't control how they see things, and if your own well-being depends on their perspective, you'll find yourself endlessly unsettled. True peace doesn't come from trying to manage others' feelings, it comes from managing your own thoughts. If you're thinking about ending a relationship without having done the inner work to stabilize your own energy, then any action you take, whether staying or leaving, will carry the same emotional charge. Even if you physically leave, the same discomfort may follow you, simply because your vibration hasn't shifted. So, before taking any major steps, get clear on what you want and why you want it. Find your emotional footing first. Let's look at the situation more closely. You've been feeling unfulfilled in a relationship. You decide it might be time to move on. But the moment you express this, your partner is heartbroken, and now you feel worse. You wonder if you should stay to avoid causing them pain. But think about it, you were both unhappy, and now you're still unhappy, only now it's layered with guilt, confusion, and emotional pressure. You could leave, but if you're focused only on what went wrong, you may find temporary relief but carry with you a sense of needing to justify your choice. That creates emotional resistance, and that discomfort doesn't just disappear with the relationship. It travels with you. So, what's the real solution? It's realizing this: you cannot control how another person feels. You can't protect someone from pain by twisting yourself into a version they want you to be. That's not love, it's entrapment. And it leads to resentment, misalignment, and self-abandonment. When you try to be responsible for someone else's happiness, you set yourself up for constant struggle, because their happiness is not yours to manage. The only person you can truly guide and uplift is you. And from that stable place, you can be of far more authentic value to others. Now, instead of rushing into action, try this: stay where you are for now, but not to appease anyone. Stay to do the inner work. Stay to pivot your thoughts and shift your energy. Start telling a better feeling version of your story, not to deny reality, but to guide your focus. Say to yourself, I've been considering ending this relationship because I haven't been happy. But if I leave in this emotional state, I'm just taking that unhappiness with me. What I really want is to feel good. I wonder if I can find that feeling right here, right now. I remember what first drew me to this person, how curious and fun it was to get to know each other. I liked the discovery, the companionship. Over time, I've realized we might not be the best match. That doesn't mean either of us failed. It just means there's likely someone else who's a better match for each of us. I appreciate many things about this person: kindness, intelligence, humor. I believe our time together had value. And I can let go of it with peace. That shift in perspective is powerful. Now, when you do make your choice, whether you stay or leave, it will come from clarity, alignment, and emotional strength. You can't stop someone else from feeling hurt. But you can choose not to amplify that pain by adding your own. Your steadiness, your centeredness, is the most powerful contribution you can make. Instead of reacting to someone else's emotions, imagine yourself planting a seed. The clarity, love, and strength you leave behind with your words and actions will continue to grow long after you're no longer physically involved. That's the real gift. Yes, there are relationships that are ready to be released. But don't walk away in anger, guilt, or fear. Do the vibrational work first. Get into alignment. Feel better within yourself. Then move forward with grace, and what comes next won't be a repeat of what you're leaving behind. It will be the beginning of something new, shaped by your clarity and desire to feel good.